So you might have seen some mention in Discord or other areas about this thing called a satellite shader, and it's the coolest thing since ever, right? Sliced bread. So this is just going to be a little intro into it. It's not going to be anything in depth. I'll reference some videos on how to get started with it. Eventually, it might just become its own section if I get around to doing some videos on it. So let's talk about what it is. So what is a satellite shader? Well, at a core level, if you went back through and there's a theory section, I think it's back in Unity called the relationship between shaders, materials, and textures. It is a shader. So if you can't remember what a shader is, go back and look at that theory. It is a shader, which is a program inside of Unity designed to manipulate materials and the lighting of those materials. And what this shader, what's unique about it, is it allows an overlay image. Okay, so think, you remember you had your satellite overlay image, like your Google and your Bing images that you use to trace your Inkscape. It allows an overlay image like that to be projected and blended onto your meshes inside of Unity, okay, via that shader. So it takes your diffuse texture, that default like dual text green, dual text fairway, and it projects an image on top of that and blends it together. So hang on to that thought. It can be done on a mesh by mesh basis. So you could have your green use satellite shader, but you could have your fairway use satellite shader, but they could use two different overlays. Or you could have your rough not use satellite shader at all. So you can do it, and you could have your bunkers do it, and you could do one bunker do it, another bunker do it. So there's lots of flexibility. It's done on a mesh by mesh basis because you assign your shaders on a mesh by mesh basis as well. You have that flexibility. The thing about it though, and why it's more of an advanced topic, is it requires a keen eye. Blending, when you're talking about sending an image and projecting it onto different colors, if those colors don't match, and then on top of that, you throw 3D grass into there, which has its own color changes, you better have a keen eye on what looks good because it can look really bad and it can be distracting. The best satellite shading, in my opinion, is one that people don't notice. Is because it just looks so natural, and there's some people who are really good at it. It requires some Photoshop and GIMP knowledge and some work to tweak and tune that satellite image to get it right. GIMP is free. Photoshop is $10 a month. I recently switched from GIMP to Photoshop because to me GIMP is okay, but if you really want to do a good job, there's a ton more resources available for Photoshop. And to me, Photoshop is just much better at handling multiple layers and multiple images. So let me just show you the result of satellite overlay. And so here we are inside of Unity, and you can see here, if I look down on this course, I've got mode lines, right? I got mode lines here. I got these cart lines that I did, so it looks like someone rode over the course. I've got these stress lines, so this brown grass where people were coming on and off the course. It looks almost like muddy / worn. I got some mode lines here. I got some cool shading inside my bunkers to give them some depth and make them look realistic. So here's a really cool bunker. The mode lines go into the bunker. This is all done via satellite shading. So if I were to go in here and just switch this to dual text, shoot, it goes into, it just turns black, but when I switch it back to satellite, the mode lines are back. But basically without those shader, I wouldn't have these shadows in my bunkers. I wouldn't have these mode lines. I wouldn't have these brown spots. I wouldn't have the cart paths. It's all done by the shader. So let me show you what the shader actually looks like. So now I'm just going to open up Photoshop, and this is the satellite shader for that course. And actually, before I show you that, here's the original satellite image for that course. And you can see, and some people can use the satellite image, and you can do that. And you can see this satellite image, there are actually some fairly unique mode lines here. And I'm using Photoshop to show you this. You can see there's some mode lines here, but my problem with this overlay was this was a course that was closed in 2016, so I'm looking at historic imagery. Newer imagery is typically better, but this older imagery has its problems because it's blurry. It wasn't exactly great. So what I had to do was, based on this, I completed a completely fabricated overlay. This was completely hand drawn and manipulated. And I used a combination of Inkscape shapes and crisscross patterns and a bunch of things. And if you look over here in my layers, these are my Photoshop layers. I've got various different layers in here, different holes. I think there's like 40 different layers in here. And then what happens, I export this into a JPEG image, and then that gets imported into Uni and is used as that photo image that gets projected onto the course. And so you can see in here, if I zoom in really close, those right here, the brown spots, those are those stress lines I was talking about. If this might be the hole I showed you right here. If I zoom in even closer, you can see the cart lines that I did. I put some, if you see these streaks across, that was designed to give less of a perfected look, because Mo lines aren't perfect. They should be, they should be a little jagged, and so I wanted to give it a little bit of an imperfected look. You can't see those though. That's why I said a good overlay image, you don't realize it's there. So, and you might now notice that if you come in here, you can see a couple of those stress lines that you might have not even noticed before. And they could be old cart lines. They could be just the way the mower went around. But that was the idea here, was to give that some imperfection. So at least now you know what satellite shaders are, and decide if you want to tackle it or not. I didn't do a satellite shader until my fourth course. I tried it on my first one, failed miserably, gave up. The second two, same thing, but it wasn't my fourth course. So I took a Photoshop class, and that was the big thing, was figuring out Photoshop. It was about that time I realized that GIMP just wasn't going to work for me, and I bucked up and I paid for Photoshop, and I was able to do this.